Well, welcome everybody. What an incredible day and what an incredible showing. My name is Mitch Glazier. I'm the chairman and CEO of the Recording Industry Association of America. And Governor and leaders, it is such an honor to be here today representing the music community in Tennessee on an historic day celebrating landmark legislation that's going to move through this state. First of all, I want to say thank you to Aubrey Preston for giving us this iconic studio today. If you could pick a place where every major creator of music, whether they're a songwriter, producer, engineer, or artist, all across the state has come to record, come to write, come to make great music that this great state is known for, you're sitting in that space right now. I want to acknowledge the artists, songwriters, producers, and engineers from all over the state in all genres who are here today. You'll be hearing from some of them later. Ari Morris, Boo Mitchell, Gubri Waddell, Jamie Moore, Joanne Shaw Taylor, Lainey Wilson, Lindsay L., Maggie Rose, Matt Marr, Matthew West, Michael W. Smith, Ruby Amanfu, Steve Cropper, and Tom Douglas. Each one of them an icon in their own right. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for creating what you create for this state. I also want to thank all of the labels that are here today. Big Machine Label Group, Scott Borchetta and Matt Crew, thank you. Big Loud Records, Patch Culberson and Sarah Nabe. BMG, Broken Bow, Tim Reed. Capital Christian Music Group, Brad O'Connell, Hudson Platch, and Joe Brazil. Sync Music, Logan Mulvey. Concord Music Group, Amanda Moulter. Acceleration Music, Glenn Barrows. My goodness. Oh Boy Records, Jody Whalen. Sony Music Nashville. Jen Way, of course, Triple Tigers, Annie Ortmeyer, 30 Tigers, Robert Knotts, Warner Music Nashville, Ben Klein and Patrick Sabatini, Warner Music Nashville Publishing, Ben Vaughn, Universal Music, Charles Waddlington. Just a sample of the Tennessee labels that are here today to help celebrate this incredible effort. Thank you. Not to mention the industry groups that have come from all over that you see on these boards over here that are here to support you, Governor, and you leaders as you get ready to launch this great initiative. The American Association of Independent Music, Richard Burgess, BMI, Jessica Frost, ASCAP, Mike Sistad, Church Music Publishers Association, Don Kaysen, Christian Music Trade Association, Ed Leonard, Nashville Songwriters Association International, Bart Herberson and Jennifer Turnbow, the Recording Academy, elected leaders from Nashville and Memphis and their staff, the Sam Phillips Recording, Jerry Phillips and Hallie Phillips, thank you so much for being here, the son and granddaughter of the great Sam Phillips, thank you so much for being here. And the Stax Museum, Pat Mitchell-Worley and Isaac Daniel and CSAC Shannon Hatch. Come on, it is amazing, all of the people who have come here today. I don't want to forget the great unions who represent the vocalists and the musicians who make the great music. Welcome Dave Pomeroy from AFM Local 257 Nashville Music Association. Thank you for being here. And SAG-AFTRA, Carla Cristina Contreras, and your team. Thank you so much. Did I say it right? Thank you so much. And of course, all of our legislators and government officials are here, including, obviously, Leaders Johnson and Lambreth, the Tennessee Entertainment Commission heads, Bob Raines and Jimmy Wheeler, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, John Clemens, the Office of U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, who's helping to lead this effort in the U.S. Senate in coordination with what's being done here in Tennessee. I think Commissioner Denise Thomas is here. A.G. Scrametti, did I say that right, is here. And I know I did see Representative John Gillespie. I'm sure there are legislators here that I am missing, so hopefully when the leaders come up, they can recognize you. But how about one more hand for all of the incredible leaders who are here today to celebrate this? Now I get to introduce the guy who's going to introduce the governor. And I could spend 10 minutes doing it, but in 4 seconds I'm just going to say multi-Grammy Award winning, RIAA multi-platinum artist, Dove Award winning, American Music Award winning, iconic Michael W. Smith.
Thank you, Mitch. That was not 4 seconds. I am grateful to be in this room. I was fortunate when I first came to town, I got to record in this room, so I'm having deja vu, to say the least. As a Tennessean, I'm thankful to be here today, and all of us here, we're all committed to protecting the music, protecting the stories and the songs that are created every day across the state and around the world. I'm glad the governor's here. We all know he's a great leader, and he's a friend to everyone who creates music and across the globe. And he gets it. He understands our industry and how it is sewn into the fabric of our state and beyond. So it's an honor to stand by him as he shares how the state of Tennessee is going to take the lead on some of the most important issues facing us as artists, songwriters, and musicians. Would you please welcome my dear friend and 50th governor of the great state of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee.
Brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sit down, please. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Boy, do I feel out of place in this room. Tennesseans, and frankly, people that live all across the world, appreciate so much what happens in this industry. It's iconic to be in this place. Thank you, Aubrey, again, for making this possible for us, everybody at Studio A. But thank you for this incredible list of world-famous people, of iconic artists and engineers and producers and those in the industry that have made Tennessee the music capital of the world. And when you think about, so this is a really fun event for me to think about not just what happened in this room, in this studio, how it changed the lives of the people who recorded here, but what really happened was the music and the words that came from the artists whose lives were changed by recording here have changed the lives of those of us who don't have any talent at all in the music industry. But you've changed the world's lives, and it happens right here in Tennessee. When we think about from the birthplace of country music in Bristol to what's happened here to the genres that have been, rhythm and blues and jazz and country and Christian, and from Beale Street to Bristol and everywhere in between, what's happened in this state has changed the world. And the music industry is a very important part, $6 billion to Tennessee's economic output. We're the largest. Our state has more workers in the music industry than any state in the country. This industry is incredibly important, not only to Tennessee, but to the world. So when I thought about coming out here today, I was like, put on your best boots and don't wear a suit because you won't fit in, even though you're not going to fit in anyway. But I just want to thank you all for what you do and I will say this, the world knows about Tennessee in large part because of this industry. You go anywhere in the world and they will call out artists and musicians from Tennessee. We're known for it, and it's why today is so important. So it's a fun event, but it's also a very serious event. And we recognized early on, and I want to call out one person, Tom Douglas, who's an iconic songwriter. But he and I early on, I reached out to him and I said, I think there's an issue around AI that matters to the industry, and he was very responsive to me and connected us to the right people and put our teams together with those in this industry who understood just what the threats were. And every one of you who's an artist or an engineer or a producer, you have a gift, and it's unique to you, and it's very important that it not be copied, stolen, mocked. It's very important that be protected, and we have laws in place that have protected up to. But technology changes, and new protections are necessary. And artificial intelligence, as helpful and beneficial as it can be when used appropriately, is something that can, frankly, rob and destroy an artist's career if it's used inappropriately. So we work together primarily with folks in this industry to say, what should we do to ensure that we protect Tennessee's voices? there are a lot of people in here that are going to be a part of protecting it from the General Assembly side. William Lambert, Jack Johnson, leaders, General Scarametti, our commissioners of tourism, Marky Zeller here, Stuart McWhirter, economic development, Denise Thomas, labor and workforce, because this is a labor and workforce and economic development and tourism issue that profoundly affects what happens in our state. So I'm very grateful. We did not do this. You all did this. You have put us in a position to be able to create the changes necessary. So today we're together with the Tennessee General Assembly, we're going to introduce this key legislation that will protect voices. It's called the Ensuring Likeness, Voice, and Image Security Act, ELVIS Act, the Elvis Act. And here we go. The original legislation that was put in place was in part because of the issue of the robbing of the Elvis identity and what was happening there in those days. So it's fitting that we name this piece of legislation. It's fun, but it's a fun piece of legislation for a very serious issue that needs to be addressed. And the really great thing about this is Tennessee is the first in the nation to enact this legislation. Yeah. And what that means is that this will be a blueprint, and we expect that it will be enacted multiple times over multiple states, and at some point that artists all across America will be protected because of what started here in the music capital of the world. So we will ensure that no one can steal the voices of Tennessee artists. And I believe that what we're doing here today will ensure that no one will steal the voices of American artists once this is enacted across the country. So thank you very much for being here and frankly, for the caliber of folks that are sitting in this room. It's hard to state. I have come to recognize fully who's here and what this means and why it makes me know that what we're doing is really important, or you wouldn't be here. So thank you for bringing your support and for elevating the conversation. A lot of times what's important is that we elevate a conversation so that the people who are going to be positively affected by it can hear that conversation and then tap into it. That's what's happening here. So thank you. Very exciting. I want to introduce Jack Johnson. He's the Senate Majority Leader. He and Leader Lamberth have a really important role to play in this because they carry the legislation through the General Assembly and assure that it'll be passed and those protections will be made. So, Leader Johnson.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for making me feel even more uncomfortable because I am wearing a suit today. If I'd have known, I'd have worn my boots and jeans. No, it is a real pleasure to be here today with you on this very special occasion. And I have the honor of representing Williamson County in the Tennessee State Senate. And as the governor said, I also have the honor of serving as the Republican Majority Leader. And as the governor said, I get the opportunity, along with my friend and colleague Leader Lamberth on the House side, of being the sponsor of any of the legislative initiatives that the governor chooses to bring forward. And I can tell you that this governor has led with honor and distinction for the last 5 years, and looking forward to 3 more good years. And this is just one more example where the governor, working with those of us in the General Assembly, Tennessee is leading the nation. And we're going to lead the nation on this very, very important issue to protect the incredible artwork that you all produce here in this great state of Tennessee. I do have a favor to ask, and that is for those of you who live in various parts of the state, make sure you reach out to your colleagues in the General Assembly, your House members, your state senators, and make sure that they know how important this legislation is for you. I don't think we're going to have much of a problem getting this legislation passed. I look forward to it sailing through the General Assembly, but we don't want to take that for granted. And so it's very, very important that people understand the significance of this. We recognize in Tennessee state government, certainly in the General General Assembly, that what you produce, this wonderful, incredible music you produce, it is property. It has value. You own it. It's not just out there to freely be disseminated, and you deserve to be compensated for that. And so it's why we in the past have protected image, likeness, and we are going to add voice to that. In government, we have a lot of acronyms. I've passed legislation that have created new acronyms. This is the coolest acronym I think we've used so far, the Elvis Act. So very, very much look forward to getting that passed. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for what you do in supporting our economy and for the incredible work that you produce. And it's my honor now to introduce my good friend and colleague who will be the House sponsor of this legislation. He's State Representative William Lamberth from Sumner County, and he is the House Majority Leader. Representative Lamberth?
See, Jack won't tell you this, but Jack's in a band. He knows how to play guitar. He knows how to sing. The governor's already admitted he doesn't do any of those things. Neither do I. And so I have no ability that you have. I don't have an ounce of the skill and the talent that you have. But I represent the fans in this state, literally, both as a state representative and as majority leader. We're in awe of the music and the magic that you all create, and the many folks in this room that you create every day. We stand here in Music City. No robot, no AI creation, no program can come up with a new tune, a new thought, a new story, can come up with something that resonates in my soul, where days after you hear it, you find yourself kind of humming along to that or singing along to that in what little way I can. I will tell one brief story on that. Years ago, I was singing along with one of your songs. I'm not going to mention who, but it's somebody in this room. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job. And I had the radio on in the truck, and my baby girl was in the back seat who was 3 or 4. And when the song ended, and it was sung beautifully by the gentleman that was on the radio, my baby girl said from the back seat, "Daddy, on the next one, do you think you could just hum?" So, in representing the fans, we support you. Jack is hopeful. I am hopeful that this will sail through the legislature. Governor, this will be a bill that I'll be carrying myself. Many bills that the governor asks us to carry, I will ask another member to sign on and carry them in front of the committees. I go to the Songwriters Hall of Fame induction every single year. I am a fan. All of your fans in this state, I hope, will be reaching out to our colleagues in the legislature, in the state House, and the state Senate, to once and for all protect your property. And not only that, make sure you get the recognition for the magic that you have brought into our homes, into our cars, onto our radios, and the way that you have changed our lives in a positive way. Because for all of you artists out there, I thank you. In some of the saddest, gladdest, and all the times in between, your music has helped guide us. And that will always be true, so long as we band together and get this legislation passed so that no robot or program tries to replace the magic of what a human being can come up from in your heart and in your mind. So thank you so very much, and I look forward to presenting this in front of the legislature. Thank you.
You know what's so funny, Governor, is that many of us in the industry wore suits today because you were coming, so it's a little itchy, but this is how we look cleaned up. I hope you like it. Just shows what the magic when we all come together. It's my honor to present to you a group of creators from around the state and from different genres and that come from different facets of the music industry to give you their perspective. And we're going to start with the great songwriter Jamie Moore.
And yes, I too am wearing a suit today. I write songs for a living, songs that make you dance, songs that make you laugh, songs that make you cry, songs that even twang, songs that boom in arenas and stadiums, and it's amazing what impact a little 3-minute song can make. When a machine is able to take something and from someone's lifetime experience and recreate it without permission, or take someone's voice and use it without permission, let's just call it what it is. It's wrong. It's theft. And there's 4 things that kind of come to mind: American, creation, innovation, and protection. Okay, this great country we live in, America, it's built on and it thrives on creation and innovation. This great state of Tennessee, it's built on and it thrives on creation and innovation. Music City, USA is thriving off of innovation and creation. Let's add a word, human creation and innovation. And so just want to thank Governor Bill Lee and Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson and Senator House Leader William Lambert. Thank you for just celebrating legislation and passing legislation to help my industry to be protected from the fakes. So thank you.
I too wore a suit today, and I feel like we're changing roles a little bit. We'll wear the suits, and you can be a little more casual. So today I'm honored to be here as chair of the board of the Tennessee Entertainment Commission. The Entertainment Commission exists to ensure that our state is a leader, like we are today, and in the creative industries. With this new legislation, Tennessee is again going to be leading the way. And here's the soundbite. Here's the moment, summing it all up. The work we're doing here today will protect artists and provide an example to the rest of the nation and the world about how to best regulate AI and protect the rights of artists. As a mastering engineer, many of you, I've worked on records with people in this room. I understand the important relationship between music and technology. Producers and engineers have always innovated with new tools that make our music better, from multi-track recording to Pro Tools software. Embracing and developing technology is what led me to start Sound Credit, a music tech firm in Memphis that helps artists with data and attribution. AI has the potential to be an exciting tool that provides new possibilities for music makers. And as we embrace the promise of AI, we have to protect creators from the risks too. This legislation provides a critical safeguard against the greatest threat that AI poses to artists. Finally, I'm also proud to be here as a national officer of the Recording Academy, which represents music professionals from every craft and every genre across the state of Tennessee, including my hometown of Memphis. And the Recording Academy is the organization behind the Grammy Awards. Our Academy members are ready to mobilize and support this bill and help it pass through the legislature and move it to the governor's desk. Thank you, Governor Lee. Thank you, Leader Johnson and Leader Lambert, for supporting Tennessee music. And next, I'd like to welcome legendary blues and soul music guitarist, songwriter, producer, everything, Steve Cropper.
Wow. What an honor. I'd like to first thank the good Lord for putting all those people together. I get to see you again one more time. And I got a special thanks for Governor Lee for hitting this issue with all fours. He only has two, but he has some extra ones he keeps it in touch with. So I want to thank you. I got to see a lot of people today I know. I got to meet a lot of people I didn't know today. So I want to thank the good Lord for that. I also want to thank my wife, Angel, who's not here. She's at home, for keeping me alive as long as she has. I got to tell y'all, when I look back, I played, my first session in Nashville was at the Studio B, it's now a museum. So to tell you how connected I am with this studio, I rent Studio C, A, B, C. C and A, I don't know how B got in there, but anyway, it did. It's not part of this RCA building they built for Elvis. So thank you so much. And I didn't know how serious this was until I had to explain to me. They're going to take your music. If they use an artist and do an AI on that artist, they're going to use your song and not pay you. Wow. I never thought of that. I thought we were automatically protected. We're not, are we? That's what this legislation is all about. We're not protected with AI anymore. Never were, I don't guess. So they're doing something with Elvis now, by the way, over in Europe. They're using him. They always did the band of Elvis nowadays works with him, but they did it with the computers and stuff. Now they're using AI, artificial intelligence, to do it. And that's kind of good, kind of bad in a way. So I need to talk to my friends about that. I know those guys pretty well, so we'll see. I also have said this in the past. I'm probably the only guy in this room that actually met Elvis. Shook hands with him, and he knew who I was. I knew who he was. I grew up 2 blocks away from Elvis in Memphis. But I still refer to myself as a country boy from Missouri. And so people in Missouri, they call it Missouri. People in the South call it Missouri. I call it misery. They said, why do you call it misery? I said, I guess you did grow up on a farm like I did. So anyway, and every day, every 2 weeks after school let out, I got sent to Missouri to farm again. So I was doing that for all my life, it seems like. So I still could do it here if I had to, but I'd rather write songs. It's more fun to do that and play guitar a little bit. So I had fun with it. People accuse me all day long of being a songwriter. Maybe I am. They accuse me also of being a guitar player, which I'm not. I never had time to learn how to play guitar. I just used it as a tool, and that seemed to work, so I kept using it as a tool, and it worked real good. So I got to meet some of the greats, and one of the greats today is Joe Bazamasa. His manager's still somewhere. So I met him in this room. I met Chris in this room, Chris Stapleton in this room. And I think I recorded, didn't record them personally, but I played on their records. And they were here. Janie Fricke is one, Mickey Gilley is number 2. And I did Tammy Faye Baker here, did some of her vocal overdubs right here. And I didn't produce that album, but I did do some of her vocals right here in this room. So I'm very connected. And thank you so much for having me here. Thank everybody for having me here. I appreciate it. And Michael, you're so bad. Did you guys, I hope you saw him on TV during the holidays. I did. He said, I did that. I got to tell you a little story. So Joe Cocker was passed out on, he was passed out on a friend of mine's couch one time. And he woke up and Saturday Night Live was on and Belushi was doing the invitation. Joe got up and said, I don't remember doing that and fell back and passed out again. I don't remember doing that. That's how good I guess Belushi was. The first time I met Belushi, he was doing that. Paul McCartney had him out to L.A. to do that imitation of Joe Cocker. And I met him. He was smoking a cigarette leaning against a tree. I said, that's my kind of guy right there, leaning against a tree. So God bless you guys. And please work with the mayor and everybody. I mean, the governor, not the mayor here, the governor of Tennessee, and everybody else in the legislature on this project. Because they're going to hit it with all fours, just like I said earlier with the governor. And just help them out. And if they call on you, please help them out. And I want to thank my good buddy with his camera, who's paid me a lot of checks through the years. He has, playing on other people's sessions.
Tennessee, you can get paid and still be cool.
Still be cool. Thank you, guys.
Steve, you're a tough act to follow. My goodness. It's a true testament to the depth of talent and history that we have in our state. I'm Lindsay L. I've been a recording artist and songwriter in the Nashville music community for the past 14 years. I want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to every single person in this room for making it a priority in Tennessee to protect creators' voices and personal attributes. No one wants to hear their voice or see their image taken without permission or used out of context. This landmark legislation will help protect artists against those threats and set the stage for protection nationally and around the world. Y'all, we are making an example for the entire world. AI deepfakes threaten creators' livelihoods, steal their authenticity, and break legitimate bonds between artists and their fans. This bill will achieve important protections that allow artists to continue to write, create, and perform as our authentic selves. I just have to say that I didn't show up in boots either today. I normally show up in sneakers, but we are representing everybody today, and it is so, so important. I think this state is home to some of the most unique and some of the most talented human beings, as Jamie said, that I've ever met, some of my dear friends, and that I've really ever found throughout the whole world. So thank you so much for showing up today to protect us and to protect our rights. So on behalf of the Nashville community, thank you so much.
All right. I hope you get that we support you and that we love you and we love this state. And we are so thrilled and excited to come together as one united community to help you carry this important legislation through the General Assembly and to sign it into law. You let us know what you need. We will be here for you. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone for coming today. Can I ask the artists, songwriters, producers, and engineers who are in the room to please come up with the governor and the leaders for a photograph? Thank you guys so much for being here. We